Okay. Oh. Digestive enzymes and berberine.
And donut time. For me.
For her. Yeah, see how this goes. I still think that I'm celiac, so I have to get the testing done back in Australia, but I'm not looking forward to it because it involves eating gluten for 1 to 2 days, and not just a little bit, a significant amount of gluten containing foods, and then on top of that, getting a biopsy of your insides taken out. So it's a bit invasive, but it needs to be done because if I'm not celiac, I don't want to be depriving myself of bagels, things like that. But if I am, I definitely don't want to be eating them. Because the thing is, with celiac disease, you can be asymptomatic and not experience or exhibit any side effects, and slowly but surely over time just degrading the inner lining of your organs. So you don't want to be eating gluten just because, oh, I feel fine. You want to definitely rule it out. And I honestly would encourage anybody to get the test done, because you don't want to find out later in life. A lot of people get late diagnosed because they're asymptomatic until, say, 40 years old, and then suddenly they start getting these gastrointestinal tract disturbances, and then they delve a little bit deeper and look under the hood and they find out they've got celiac disease. So, but I'm going to play ignorant today and try 1 or 2 of these donuts, but I'm not a food person, so I'd rather just eat on plan. But Mikaela enjoys food, so yeah. So this is it's a New York cheesecake filled. I'll show you what this looks like. So that's the New York cheesecake filled donut. So we got a New York cheesecake filled. Mikaela's already eaten the other one. There's just a chocolate ice custard, which, I mean, I've tried that in the past before, so I'm probably not really interested in trying that. But
That was your
yeah. You just told me to choose one, so I chose it. But
I could have chosen one of the other ones.
you should have. That's why I was waiting for you to choose, but you're like, no, you choose. So yeah, I'll try this, I guess.
Is it good?
You'd really like that. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's me. It literally takes 1 bite and I'm satisfied. I wouldn't have to eat a full donut. And that's not a weird flex or anything. I just don't, I don't get off on food. I like it, but yeah. You like it? Yeah, it's good, eh? But she's got 1 day. Oh, maybe, yeah.
That's like my favorite, I think.
It's not bad. Too sweet for me. But yeah, that used to be my favorite. That used to always be my go-to. This and the strawberry jam. It was either chocolate ice custard filled or strawberry jam when I was in high school. Oh, I thought I'd include that. I don't really know what else to say, so I'm going to stop this here and you can just watch the gym. Alrighty, another voiceover for you, but not my usual philosophical rant style voiceover. I don't really have one of those for you today, so bear with me. But as you saw, the donut taste testing, this was the day following the Philippine muscle contest. So Giamma had competed, Mikaela had competed. Mikaela still had the Vietnam show coming up. However, because we had a reasonable window between the two and we knew what we needed to do and what wasn't doable, we had a plan, and that allowed me to give her a off plan or a free day of eating. And so we did the donut taste testing, and she had a couple of other off plan treats, and then it was back on plan the following day. But it went well. The muscle contest went well. Mikaela brought a better physique, a better package than she did in her earlier shows in this competitive season. And as suspected, we knew what the feedback would be, more muscle next time. And that's one thing that we can't really do until we have an off season. So the game plan between the muscle contest that was the day prior to this and the next muscle contest in Vietnam was to just bring in a little bit more conditioning, because that was the only real variable that we could play with, and the only real variable we could have an impact on between the two shows. So that's basically the plan that we ran with, and yeah, enjoyed a little bit of off-plan food on this day, and then it was a little bit of a road trip or an excursion to a gym further away from us. So I can't remember the name of this gym. I believe it was KSYN Fitness. I don't want to try to pronounce KSYN. It's probably, I don't know, there's probably a silent letter in there, and I'll probably mispronounce it and butcher it. So I'll just, spell it out. KSYN Fitness. And it was in Del Monte, I believe. So it was a little bit away from where we were staying or where we were living while in the Philippines. However, when I was at the muscle contest the day prior to this on the 25th, I bumped into a guy named Marc from Vegas. And so I've befriended somebody. I managed to make a friend while abroad, which was pretty cool. So his Instagram handle is Marc Gabe Cruz. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel in the description of this video so you can check his YouTube out. He's got some pretty sick content. But yeah, it was a sick gym. It was a really good gym. I liked the atmosphere. I liked the equipment, and the overall layout was fantastic. It was a little bit difficult to find, but once we found it, it was smooth sailing from there. So I did basically my limbs session, legs and arms, as best as I could. I tried to match it as closely as I could with the equipment in the gym, which I think I did a pretty good job of. So yeah, just some hamstring curls, or I should say calf raises, hamstring curls, then into hack squats. And from there, just some adductor work and some leg extensions here. And then it was some pretty straightforward arm training, just some tricep pushdowns, preacher curls, and incline dumbbell curls. Hack squats were really, really good. I liked the hack squat at this gym. The angle was a little bit less vertical, so I was able to load it up a little bit more. And the force curve was more consistent through the full range rather than being more bottom heavy like the Cybex, which is what I normally use back home. So I really liked the hack squat, although because I could load it up a little bit more, I probably got a little bit carried away, and my knee didn't feel too crash hot after the top set with the 5 plates per side. So yeah, you live and you learn. But even this late into my lifting, I still make the occasional mistake or have the occasional slip up where I get a little bit too ego driven and chase the weight, but we're only human at the end of the day, right? So yeah, I took leg extensions a little bit easier, just kind of focused on getting squeezing sets in, just a lighter load, focusing more on, I guess, execution. And from there, yeah, just dove into some arm training. Went pretty heavy on these. I think this was a full stack. And then from there, I jumped into the preacher curls and incline dumbbell curls. But overall, I was impressed with this gym. Like I said, the location was a little bit difficult to find. Although once you find it, I mean, you wouldn't have any issues finding it in the future, right? It's always only ever the first time you go to a new gym that you might have a little bit of a problem locating it. But yeah, I can't really fault the gym. The gym was fantastic. The facilities were very clean. It was a good atmosphere. Everybody was friendly. And yeah, I mean, if I'm ever in the Philippines again, I'll definitely be training at this gym. I will preferably train at this gym as opposed to the Gold's Gym. As good as the equipment was at Gold's Gym, they didn't have enough plates, and it wasn't anywhere near as clean as this gym. This gym was just better in a lot of different ways, and this gym has a hack squat too, so it's pretty hard to beat. I do believe there are a couple of other nice, well-kitted out gyms in the Philippines now. However, we just didn't get a chance to check them out due to the short trip or the short nature of our trip. But yeah, this will actually mark the final vlog of the Philippines, and from this point on, it will be the Vietnam vlogs. I don't remember how many I recorded. I think there's at least 2 or 3. So hopefully I'll get through those, and then I'll just start resuming my usual training videos back here in Australia. But yeah, definitely happy with how this session turned out. and you can see Mikaela there in the background training some shoulders. She'd finished her session pretty much, and she was just burning time while I finished my session. So yeah, got to take my hat off and pay my respects to her for doing that. She's always waiting for me to finish. Anyway, I'll wrap this up here. Talk to you soon.